Well, the Seattle Kraken playing their best hockey ever, just a few points out of first place in the West. But it's not just the players making history on the ice. Everett Fitzhugh, the first black lead broadcaster in NHL history. So joining us now, the voice of the Kraken himself, Everett Fitzhugh. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
Absolutely. We're excited about this partnership here and the Kraken playing so well. But first of all, let's talk about, you know, you're kind of a trailblazer in a way, the first black lead broadcaster in NHL history. What does that mean to you?
You know, it's still something that when I think about, it's hard to put into words for me, but it's an opportunity to be something that I never had growing up. I never had a lot of those positive black influences within the game of hockey to look up to as a kid. So now to be able to be in this position as the first black play-by-play announcer in the NHL, it's a responsibility that I think that I carry with a lot of pride, and one that it's going to serve to let people know that it doesn't matter who you are. If you have an interest in this game, you belong within this game. If you are part of a historically marginalized, underrepresented community, you belong within this game. And that's what I want to do, and use my voice and my position to help out move that cause.
Well said. So talk about your hockey background a little bit.
Yeah, I'm from Detroit originally, so I actually never played hockey as a kid. My mom thought it was a bit too dangerous. I was a baseball player growing up, but Detroit is hockey town, so I grew up watching the Red Wings, those late 90s Red Wings teams. I got into hockey because the Red Wings played the Edmonton Oilers, and they actually had 2 black players on the team. And for me, that was huge to see. The Oilers did. I'm running around the house, Mom, there's 2 black guys on TV. It was so exciting for me to see folks who looked like me playing in the NHL, and that's how my love for hockey started.
And how did you get into broadcasting? Because you were doing marketing and broadcasting in the East Coast League before you were hired here in Seattle.
I was, and back in college, I went to Bowling Green State University in Ohio. I was doing all types of broadcasting. I knew I wanted to work in the sports. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I fell in love with broadcasting hockey. I did my first broadcast as an 18-year-old freshman in January of 2007, and it's been, all the eggs have been in the hockey basket ever since.
And it's been an incredible run for this franchise. Boy, they put together an exciting team. It's got to be cool from the inside to watch this team take shape.
You know, everything's a lot better when you're winning, right? I tell folks all the time, the birds are chirping louder, the rain is a little bit wetter, the sun is a little bit brighter when the Kraken are winning. I mean, you now have put together 2 7-game winning streaks. You've got a franchise record 8-game winning streak. You're in second place in your division. And I understand that the records and the numbers weren't where folks wanted last year, but that 5-year plan that was set out at the beginning of last season is now a 2.5-year plan, a 3-year plan. And we're starting to see all of those pieces come together. And like I said, it's a lot better when you're winning. And it's really fun. That's the big word that I tell folks all the time. It's fun being around the rink every day.
Yeah, and a great group of guys, too. I mean, they seem to genuinely really like each other and care about each other, because there's maybe no better complete team game than hockey. And so if you can take us behind the curtain a little bit, because you're around them all the time. What is this team like in the locker room, on the road?
So in the locker room, I mean, it sounds so cliche, but they truly are 20 brothers hanging out. They're 20 best friends, all, you know, pulling the same rope toward that goal. And I think the fact that you add a couple of really big pieces in the offseason, the fact that you have Matty Beniers, who is the clubhouse leader right now for the Calder Trophy, the NHL's Rookie of the Year, playing the way he's playing. You bring in an assistant coach in Dave Lowry, who has a ton of experience in other realms of hockey and can bring that to this locker room. There are just so many pieces that have helped this team gel and come together in the way they have.
And so, can you put your finger on what specifically it is, or a few things specifically that's really kind of turned the switch for this franchise?
I think it's the commitment to playing hard-nosed hockey. And I guess without getting too deep into the weeds, this team forechecks hard. This team is a team that when they have success, they set the pace. They're running all 4 lines. Everyone is contributing. I mean, you've got 3 of the top 5 scorers in the NHL who are averaging 12 or fewer minutes. Ryan Donato, Daniel Sprong, Morgan Geekie are in the top 5 players in scoring for those averaging fewer than 12 minutes. So you're getting contributions from your top players, your Matty Beniers, your Jared McCanns, Andre Burakovsky. But then you also have those players who are on the bottom 6 in your defensive core who maybe don't see a lot of ice time, but they're making the most of that ice time. So I think it's that full commitment, and it's that desire and that wantingness to be in Seattle. You have a guy like Jared McCann last year signing his contract, wants to set up roots and can now say, hey, I live here in Seattle. I want to be here in Seattle. And that was huge for this team.
Well, it's huge to have you as well. Everett Fitzhugh, the voice of the Kraken, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Great to have you here. And by the way, 3 home games this week, right?
3 home games, then we're off for the break, but we're back home on Wednesday against Vancouver. We've never beaten Vancouver, so we have to beat Vancouver this Wednesday. They just haven't announced a new coach yesterday, so we have to beat Vancouver this week.
We are due against Vancouver. All right, let's send it back over to you, Liz.